Welcome to Beast Babe Mindset for Mompreneurs, where we reclaim our power and our sexy by mastering the art of family, fitness, and business. I'm Cassandra Dort, your coach for today. So I get asked all the time, hey Cass, how do you build confidence? How do you continue to have confidence with everything that you're doing? So today I'm going to go over 3 things that I live by to help keep my confidence up here versus down there. And I'm going to start with saying your girl was not born with confidence, okay? Your girl growing up was a nerdy nerd, like nerd, nerd, okay? I used to be like teacher's pet, sitting at the front of the class, always making sure my notes were good, that they were highlighted, that they were written in certain sections. Your girl, no lie, always was in the aspect of nerdism. Short haircut, looked like a triangle. It was bad. It was all bad. So, with that being said, there are some people that are born with the skill of being confident, and that is beautiful. That is such a beautiful thing to see. When I see a confident woman, I'm like, yes, girl. Yes, yes. And then when I see insecure women, it's like, we could work on that skill. We could still build that skill. We could still make it happen. And so I'm going to go over and share some of the things that has helped me throughout the years, throughout my journey to help keep that confidence. And there was, when I was younger, there were a few conversations that I heard. One of those conversations was I walked into a room of family members that happened to be all guys at the time, and they were like, you get married and your wife just lets it all go. Boom. That went into my bank. And I was like, oh, okay, that's how men feel. Like men feel like their wives let it all go. I don't want to be that wife. I don't. And then when I was dating my husband at the time, he had said, and I always think this to myself today, an insecure woman is not sexy. When he said that to me, I was like, okay, girl, like, he has a standard. Like, men have standards, and his standard is he wants his wife to be confident, or his future wife at the time. So, with that being said, here are 3 things that I do to help keep that confidence moving. One of them, the first one, this one I live by, I swear by, is showing up and stopping it. Show up and stopping it. What the heck does that mean, Cass? Showing up for yourself. Showing up for yourself and stopping all the damn excuses. Like, I cannot tell you how many times my clients will tell me, oh my gosh, I don't have time for this. I don't have time for that. I do this, I do that, yada, 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 yada. And then the time comes sometimes, for example, COVID, for example, when there's like certain shutdowns or something happening, or, they're out of work for 2 weeks, they still don't show up for themselves in the way that they need to. So stop the excuses. Stop telling yourself what your current situation is and start making moves and applying action. So, for example, working out. I am going to put on my calendar at the beginning of the week what days and what times I'm working out. If you call me and you're like, hey, tomorrow's my birthday, let's go out for blah, 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 and it falls during my workout time, girl, please, bye. Bye, Felicia. That is not happening. It's a non-negotiable. I have to show up for myself. Not only that, showing up for my spouse and how that looks, showing up for my kids and how that looks, making sure that it's quality time with them, and stopping the excuse of, oh, well, I'm with them all the time, or I see them all the time. No, You're busy all the time, you're in motion all the time, but it's not quality. So making sure that you are showing up in the ways that are needed to help boost your confidence. I'll work out, I'll dance, I'll paint, I'll do whatever it is I need to do for me first. Then I will show up for my spouse. Then I will show up for my kids. And it is in that order. Most of us put our kids first, put work and everything else in the mix, and then we put us and our spouse last. Last is not a thing. It's not a thing. That is not going to lead for success, which is going to continue to build insecurities in you. You're going to feel like you're failing, and feeling like you're failing is not a good feeling. So that's number one, showing up and stopping all of the excuses. Number two, this one is very hard, and it's actually something that I had to learn over time because your girl was a nerd. Like I said, I was a nerd, and I did not like confrontation. Your girl was so nerdy that they used to call me Honky because they said I looked like a horse and I laughed like a donkey. Like that shiznit's messed up. So, like I said, you're going to go through life with so many different scenarios that are going to try to, like, that's going to increase those insecurities that you have. And your job is to grow through life to build your confidence. If it's not something that you were just born with, it's a skill that you can learn. And so, owning your voice looks like communication with your spouse, communicating what it is that you need and what it is that you want. Most of the time we get into this, it's not worth an argument. You got to choose your battle. No, the F you don't, okay? That leads you nowhere besides all the conversations up in your head and you being like, oh, he should be doing this. Why isn't he doing that? How come I always have to think about this? And it leads to chaos. Okay, so if you're new to my channel, I'm going to be teaching things and talking about things that have helped me and has helped my clients. And the things that I have learned and the skills that I teach are usually not popular because I had to pretty much unlearn what society and what upbringings have taught me. So, voicing your opinion also looks like communicating to your spouse during sex, like, hey, this doesn't feel good like it used to. Or, hey, move over this way a little bit or move that way. Like it it's opening up your communication, but in a way that it could be received. This is another skill set that most of the time has to be learned with some guidance because many times we could think as women we're communicating when we're really just nagging or talking at. And talking at does not help your spouse come on board with all the things that you want and you need. So, really voicing the things that it is that you want because that changes over time. Your love language changes, your body changes, your mindset, like all these things change and you have to communicate. And so stop, I guess you could say, dimmering down, if that's a word, your voice. Stop thinking that your voice and your needs do not matter. I have to say that this step for me was hard, but when I was able to really tap into it, I felt so empowered and I felt so heard and seen that the stress, the mom guilt, the overwhelm, that just started kind of melting its way away. Melting its way away. You know what I mean? But it helps so much. And feeling empowered feeling heard, feeling seen, especially in your home, especially by your spouse and your kids, like it builds so much confidence. And so that would be my number two for building confidence as a busy wife, mom, and business owner, busy woman. Third, for me, this one's huge, which pretty much ties into number two, is self development, mentorship, and spiritual growth. Growing on myself helped my marriage, helped my relationship with my kids, helped my relationships in our businesses so much. But the best part about self development is, and spiritual growth, is that it helped me fall back in love with who I am and rediscover and refine who that girl is that got lost through the sauce. Because, yeah, we go through survival mode, ladies, and nobody's there to tell us, boo, hey, you're still in survival mode, get out. And that's why a mentor for me was so helpful. Um, my mentor has helped me see blind spots and has helped shift thoughts and scenarios in the moment. And those shifts make you just have a whole different outlook and perspective on life. And normally we go into like negative self talk or pity party, or we get in our feelings about things. And just the self development, mentorship, and having that spiritual growth and having God there and praying, y'all, that is huge. That is huge, huge, huge. And when you grow, it allows your spouse the opportunity to grow as well. And it also allows your kids to grow because you're showing up as your best version. So it's only natural for them to start showing up as their best versions. And I would just, I cannot preach enough self development. Don't keep on pointing the fingers, you this and you this and you this, because I promise you, honey, you are not seeing your blind spots. Okay? You're not. And it's okay. I'm here to tell you, I was that person that did not see one dang blind spot. Because your girl had it all, I thought, until I went through my self development journey. And so, recap on all of this. Your first one, baby boo, first one is showing up and stopping all of the excuses. Stop the distractions. Stop whatever is not fueling you, but it's draining you. So every time you don't show up for yourself, you're building what we would call insecurity points instead of confidence points. Stop letting yourself down. Stop it. Second one is owning your own voice, making sure that you are heard, that you are seen, that you also are getting the things that you want out of life, just like your spouse is getting it, just like your kids are getting it, just like your job is getting it. You have to be heard. You have to be seen. You have to own your voice. You don't need validation from everybody. That's a whole nother thing. You don't need validation from other people, but you have to communicate the things that you need so that you feel empowered, so that you feel like you have control over your life and you're not just being slammed and slapped around. You get what I'm saying? And then third, self-development, mentorship, spiritual growth. That's going to help you elevate to another level. And that's going to help you not say things that are going to create wounds to other people. Self-development and personal growth is going to help you evaluate yourself, your thought processes, and the way you show up in the world. And so I hope those three things that I live by help you And if they do, definitely leave it in the comments. Or if there's something that also helps you build your confidence, share it with me. And I thank you so much for joining me today. Hit that like and subscribe. Toodles!